Hello everyone. ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೂ ನಮಸ್ಕಾರ. ಕನ್ನಡ ರಾಜ್ಯೋತ್ಸವದ ಹಾರ್ದಿಕ ಶುಭಾಶಯಗಳು. The education sector saw a big dhamaka this Diwali with two titans, Deeksha and Vedantu, announcing their collaboration. We have with us here today the leaders who have come together to transform the way children learn. A very warm welcome to Dr. Sridhar and Mrs. Lalit Sridhar, founders of Deeksha, and Mr. Vamsi Krishna, founder of Vedantu. Thanks a lot for making time for this discussion. We are very sure that with this interaction, all the stakeholders, be it a child or a parent or teachers or institutions, will get complete clarity on the core purpose behind this collaboration and also understand what it means to each one. Now, let's get on with the questions. My first question is to you, Dr. Sridhar. We have all heard about this collaboration through multiple sources, multiple versions as well. Now that you all are here, we'd like to know more about it in detail directly from you.
Wonderful, DB. Thank you for asking me that question. I've also been getting many phone calls from various people congratulating me for having sold off Deeksha and exited from Deeksha altogether. So, good chance for me to set the record straight. Just want to clarify, Lalit, myself, you're all very much there. Deeksha continues just the way it is. Nothing has changed at the grassroots level. Now, as a company, we had other investors with us. So, we're very fortunate to have with us for the last 10 years. Axel, Catamaran and Kaizen, they were with us for a long time. And they were looking for an exit to continue on with their ways. And we were looking for other partners who would be able to replace those investors. And we're very fortunate to come across with Vedantu. Vamsi is here from Vedantu. And we were discussing and talking. And there were a lot of synergies that we saw between our two companies. And so basically Vedantu has replaced all those investors. So now Axel, Catamaran and Kaizen are out. And you have Vedantu on the board, you have Lalit ma'am and myself, and everything else remains unchanged. Now, Vedantu is not just an investor. They are in this space. They've got a phenomenal online product that they've been perfecting. They're all teachers themselves. And so with the teacher mindset, they've created a phenomenal platform and product, which is now available for our children. And some very simple things, immediately our children will see the improvement, is they have an app called the Pedagogy, if I'm right, Pedagogy app. They have gone and signed up with over 100 books and titles in the JEE, NEET and CET space. And all those titles, questions are already digitized and available. And children can mix and match and say, okay, I want questions on Newton's laws of motion from these 4 books. And then the app will pick it up and give it to the child. The child can practice, mark the questions he wants to revise. A phenomenal collection of questions for children to revise and to perfect. Vedantu also has a great library repository of videos that is available. All of that becomes available to our children as well. So I see directly some benefits and help for our children. And on the bigger picture, everything goes on as it is. The teaching, the partnerships, the classes, they all remain unchanged.
Thanks a lot for that clarity, Dr. Sridhar. Next one is to you, Vamsi. What prompted this collaboration? And how will this strategic alliance actually work?
That's a great question. Thanks for having me over, first and foremost. What prompted this collaboration? It's a long story. I've known Dr. Sridhar, Lalit ma'am for almost close to a decade now.
Yes.
And as Dr. Sridhar said, our background, me, Pulkit Anand, the founders, our background has also been teaching.
Teachers.
And very similar story. We were all graduated from colleges, and after that, we just entered into a small tier 3, tier 4 city, started teaching, saw massive impact, which quality teachers and teaching can do to the masses, and that prompted the journey thereafter. So the initial part, 7-8 years, we also spent in offline, and then started online Vedantu. Known Dr. Sridhar, Lalit ma'am from those earlier days. So I have immense respect for what, in fact, his own story is an inspiration. And after that, what the team has done is, and I think the students, the brand says for itself. We have many people in my leadership team in Vedantu who are actually students of Dr. Sridhar and us. And so I mean, nothing for me to say actually. Right? The legacy is there. I think to the question on what prompted this. See, even today, from our vantage point of view, there is online and there is offline. But all being said and done, online is very small yet, right? I think the overall penetration of online, everyone combined in K-12 is around close to 3 to 3.5%, right? Still. And 95% plus is still offline. And we go on out and talk to the parents and the students. The perception is still that they need a
physical
place
teacher.
to study, they need discipline, they need some kind of an environment to study, right? And that is where we always believe that the perfect combination of an online and offline can have magical impact. So we've always been thinking about this, right? And obviously we knew the team, and that is where we started talking. Now the idea here, as Dr. Sridhar himself said, is Deeksha has a huge brand and an amazing team and a leadership team doing it. And given that this deal has been announced, and as Dr. Sridhar himself clarified, there have been some talks and all about, okay, what is going to happen, what is the future, so on and so forth. We have integrated to make 1 plus 1 greater than 2, right? So Deeksha's brand, Deeksha's team, Deeksha's students, Deeksha's teachers, Deeksha's staff, all of it is going to remain as it is, right? And going to operate like it is, because they're, it's a beautiful brand. It's doing fantabulous job. The integration is going to be add-on. So what we see, and a lot of things we'll still explore as we move on. What we see is Vedantu has technology. Vedantu has a lot of assets. One of it, Dr. Sridhar said, is pedagogy app. We have a doubt solving app. We have a video repository. We have AI lab module. There are a lot of things. And all of that will be readily available for Deeksha students. That I think is a very immediate kind of like a synergy I see. For Vedantu students also, we see a lot of synergy. So there are a lot of students, maybe for Karnataka and Bangalore, a lot of those students have things around like, I need school support, I need school help, I need labs, I need those things. Currently, obviously, Vedantu is not able to provide that. So we see a lot of those cross synergies and synergization. But I think the bigger point and bigger vision we are all excited about is how do we combine the best of online and best of offline and create the best teaching and more importantly learning environment for the kids, and that's what keeps us excited. So yeah, that's really the synergy for the deal.
That's extremely interesting. Thank you, Vamsi. Lalit ma'am, you have always been a champion for wellness, right? How do you foresee this in this collaboration? Would you like to add some thoughts on this collaboration and the wellness quotient going to the next level?
Thank you, DB, for bringing the wellness element into the whole learning experience of a kid. Now, what do you think defines wellness? Wellness is directly defined by the happiness quotient of a kid and how happy a kid is in their day-to-day life. So when you see what is what defines happiness quotient of the kid is, are they able to learn seamlessly? And if you see, majority of their time is invested in academics. So if you are able to provide that environment for a kid where there is a seamless learning and there is a joy for learning, I think ultimately the learning of a kid happens only when they enjoy what they are learning. The moment they enjoy what they are learning, they automatically become again confident in what they have learned. So can we create that environment for a kid where there is seamless learning experience for the child? If that is defined, automatically the wellness of a kid is defined, because majority of their time is spent on academics, no matter which class they are in. The whole 8 hours in school, plus once they go back home, there is enough learning to be mastered over there. So over the years, if you see, Deeksha has spent a lot of time and effort in seeing how we can enhance the learning experience of a child in a classroom. And at the same time, Vedantu has spent a lot of time and effort in inventing and seeing how they can enhance the learning experience of a kid using technology. And like both of them have articulated, they are teachers themselves at Vedantu. So they exactly knew where the problem area is of the kid, and they have beautifully used technology to make sure that the learning gaps are taken care of, and the enjoyment automatically happens when the child learns. So we see a beautiful synergy over there, that both of us coming together, both inside the classroom and outside the classroom. If that kind of a learning can be provided to a kid, then automatically the wellness of a kid is taken care of. So if you were to take a few examples, I think they have already shared a couple of examples. The bulk of the learning happens in the classroom. The teachers are teaching the concepts, and now when the kid goes back home, they have homework which is given to them. And as the child is going through the homework, inevitably there will be a few areas where the child finds it difficult to solve the problem. And that is where technology steps in, and that is where we see the synergy, that immediately if a child is able to call for help through their teachers, through the teachers, then they are able to immediately solve the problem and move on, rather than wait till the next day, then go back to the teachers and ask and get the doubts clarified and come. The teaching, the learning experience continues. Or there is an exam coming up, and all of you all are aware there are multiple exams through which the child has to navigate in their day-to-day life. And no matter how much they have learned, if they are facing any difficulties in the concepts, then there's a beautiful repository of videos, or there's a teacher available on call. And for those concepts, again, they can either look at the videos or at the curated content. There's a lot of curated content which is also available, through which they can navigate and master whatever has been taught to them. So we are seeing a lot of this benefits that are directly coming to the kid, not just in the classroom, but also after the college hours. And together, that's what we want to achieve. We want to transform the way children learn, and therefore nurture the success of every child.